The multi-million-dollar picture Brat and Judy depart present to the world is cracking in real time, and Brat is now putting her side of the story on the record. In their latest public confrontations and reality show documentation, Brat is directly challenging Judy's hands-off, administrative approach to raising their son, True Legend. After enduring high-risk IVF complications to carry their child, Brat is drawing a firm boundary, openly questioning how much of the day-to-day parenting responsibility is actually being shared versus how much of it is being directed like a corporate boardroom. Brat is making her position clear. She refuses to let Judy dictate every domestic decision while treating hands-on parenting as an afterthought. But this intense battle for household authority is unfolding right alongside another major crisis. At the exact same time their domestic disputes are boiling over, serious questions are surfacing around Judy's financial empire. The ultra-lavish lifestyle, the multi-million-dollar flexes, and the aggressive marketing behind Kaleidoscope hair products are now facing public scrutiny amid shifting retail performance, rising corporate overhead, and mounting commercial debt. With Brat carrying documented first-hand experience with past bankruptcy and high-stakes legal settlements, any instability inside their shared household carries massive consequences. What starts as a direct, public confrontation over who is actually putting in the work to raise baby True has now pulled back the curtain on the entire empire. This is the exact breakdown of how Brat's parenting clash with Judy exposed the pressure cracks running straight through their brand and their finances. To understand how this situation reaches a boiling point, look at what happens inside the house the moment the cameras turn on. Brat is stepping into motherhood for the first time at 49 years old. She carried this pregnancy herself, endured emergency hospital visits, fought through severe blood clots, and took on massive physical risks to bring True Legend into the world. That lived experience creates an immediate, fierce protective instinct. Brat is not treating this child as a brand extension or a photo opportunity. She is operating with the laser focus of a mother who put her physical life on the line to be in that nursery. Judy arrives at the table with an entirely different background. She already raised 3 biological children, Jay, Deja, and Ko, from previous relationships before entering this marriage. In past biographical interviews, Judy candidly documented how the grind of building Kaleidoscope hair products from a local salon in New Orleans required relentless travel, leaving her older children largely in the care of extended family during their formative years. Now, inside this new dynamic with Brat, Judy steps in with the mindset of an executive managing an operation. Instead of a shared, collaborative routine, the dynamic shifts into Judy attempting to dictate schedules, establish household protocols, and direct caretaking decisions from the top down. That clash of philosophies creates an immediate fracture. Brat is not looking for a project manager. She is looking for an equal partner who is physically present in the routine. When Judy tries to step in and control basic domestic moments, from who straps True into his car seat to how daily routines are scheduled, Brat pushes back immediately. These are not minor household bickering sessions. They are fundamental battles over who holds maternal authority in the home. The tension spills over into every shared scene. Viewers watching the unedited production footage see a clear divide in daily execution. Brat handles the immediate sensory demands of infant care, managing dietary schedules, tracking medical appointments, and establishing hands-on attachment routines. Judy, meanwhile, is frequently managing logistics, delegating operational support, and attempting to establish high-level structural rules for how the nursery should operate. That contrast creates immediate friction. The emotional weight of that divide falls directly onto Brat. After decades in the music industry where her public profile as the first solo female rapper to go platinum was built on being untouchable, tough, and fiercely independent, becoming a mother strips all those industry defenses away. She expects complete emotional presence inside her home. Instead, she finds herself asserting her right to make decisions for her own biological child without having every domestic choice filtered through an administrative checklist. That internal struggle soon triggers a major shift in public perception. Audiences who initially celebrated their 2022 wedding special start analyzing the documented domestic friction with a critical eye. Observers note the stark contrast between Judy's past public admissions of career-first parenting and her current impulse to direct every operational detail of baby True's environment. When documented history meets a high-stakes nursery environment, questions about maternal control and personal bandwidth naturally surface. At the same time, the broader family dynamic enters the picture. Family members, including Brat's sister Lisa Ray McCoy, have historically maintained a very cautious, protective stance when it comes to who enters Brat's inner circle. When strong personalities collide on camera, past statements from family members regarding boundaries and vulnerability gain renewed attention. The public record reflects a growing concern. Is Brat having to defend her space within her own domestic unit? Judy finds herself facing an unexpected public dilemma. In the business world, assertiveness, rapid delegation, and tight organizational control are celebrated leadership traits that expanded her retail reach. But when you apply that exact same corporate framework to an infant's daily routine with a fiercely protective first-time mother, it creates friction. Every directive Judy issues on camera highlights a fundamental disconnect between executive efficiency and hands-on maternal labor. The friction between them escalates with each passing month. When two high-profile figures disagree on fundamental domestic roles, privacy disappears under reality television contracts. Brat refuses to project an artificial front for production cameras. She speaks her mind during filming, openly identifying the gap between social media presentation and day-to-day domestic reality. That refusal to compromise reality dismantles the narrative of an effortless partnership. This continuous push and pull takes a heavy toll on the foundation of their relationship. Motherhood is demanding under normal circumstances, but doing it under intense media scrutiny while navigating postpartum recovery creates deep physical and mental exhaustion. Brat is managing the reality of late-in-life maternal care while simultaneously establishing firm boundaries to prevent her home from operating like a corporate satellite office. The power struggle reaches an impasse. Judy expects her organizational structure to be followed without dispute, while Brat demands active participation and shared physical labor over high-level instructions. With neither side willing to surrender authority, every domestic interaction turns into a structured negotiation over parental territory. Just as this parenting standoff pushes their domestic dynamic to the brink, the pressure intensifies from an entirely different direction. The intense scrutiny on how they run their household begins pulling back the layers on the business infrastructure supporting it. The lavish displays of wealth, the luxury lifestyle, and the commercial empire that once framed their entire relationship are about to face the exact same level of unfiltered examination. The cracks inside the nursery were only the first sign of trouble. While the parenting standoff showed a clear fracture in their personal alignment, the spotlight quickly shifted to the multi-million-dollar machine funding their extravagant lifestyle. For years, Judy Brat built her public persona around extreme wealth, high-energy marketing, and over-the-top displays of luxury. From gifting Brat custom luxury cars to orchestrating headline-grabbing surprises, the message was simple. The Kaleidoscope hair products empire was an unstoppable financial juggernaut. Behind that high-gloss presentation, the reality of running an independent beauty brand in an evolving retail market was shifting fast. Transitioning from direct-to-consumer digital sales into massive brick-and-mortar accounts with Target, Walmart, and Sally Beauty requires massive capital reserves, high slotting fees, strict inventory guarantees, and heavy localized advertising. In the retail hair care sector, margin compression is a constant reality. When broader consumer spending tightens and big-box distribution costs rise, operational overhead demands immediate, massive cash flow. As the personal friction between Brat and Judy became impossible to hide, the sudden change in their public spending habits raised immediate flags. The over-the-top, six-figure viral flexes that defined their early media coverage began tapering off. Instead of constant displays of uncalculated spending, commercial platforms associated with the brand pivoted toward urgent digital flash sales, heavy product bundling, and aggressive inventory clearance pushes. To industry analysts watching beauty commerce, the shift in commercial pacing was unmistakable. Financial strain inside a high-profile marriage is never just about balance sheets. It directly impacts household stability. When a brand relies on the public image of limitless liquidity, managing commercial debt while maintaining an ultra-luxury public persona creates extreme pressure. The strain of servicing enterprise overhead while projecting effortless wealth turns routine household budgeting into a high-stakes conflict. For Brat, this type of financial tension is not just stressful, It hits on a documented legal and financial history. Following a high-profile 2007 nightclub altercation and a subsequent 2014 civil judgment totaling $6.4 million, Brat filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 2018 to reorganize millions in liabilities. She spent years under court-monitored financial scrutiny, navigating asset disclosures, restructuring debt, and slowly rebuilding her commercial standing. Having endured the rigorous public process of federal bankruptcy court, Brat possesses an acute awareness of legal exposure, corporate liabilities, and the dangers of over-leveraged debt. When someone who has successfully completed the arduous process of court-ordered financial recovery sees mounting retail overhead and aggressive cash flow management, protective boundaries go up immediately. Brat knows firsthand how quickly legal liabilities and commercial exposure can jeopardize personal security. Being tied to an enterprise carrying significant retail exposure is a vulnerability she cannot afford, especially with the legal and financial responsibility of providing long-term security for baby True. The dynamic between the two women shifted from navigating new motherhood to managing conflicting financial philosophies. Judy, operating with the aggressive risk tolerance of an entrepreneur scaling a competitive beauty enterprise, prioritized reinvesting liquid capital into inventory, manufacturing runs, and brand maintenance. Brat, guided by maternal protection and past financial restructuring, prioritized absolute liquidity, asset protection, and minimal liability. That divergence in priorities bled directly into their joint ventures. When a couple intertwines their personal life with a shared reality TV series, brand endorsements, and joint appearances, the line between marital love and business strategy disappears. Every public disagreement isn't just an emotional moment. It becomes a potential threat to commercial contracts and public standing. If the image of the unstoppable power couple cracks, the brand deals attached to that image become vulnerable. Industry observers began connecting the operational timeline in real time. The timing of their televised disputes aligned directly with broader market shifts, including intense retail shelf space competition from major corporate conglomerates acquiring indie beauty lines. Observers noted that the intense organizational control Judy exerted inside the home coincided with the high-pressure operational demands of defending independent retail territory. When commercial pressures mount externally, the drive to control immediate personal environments often sharpens. The emotional toll inside their home reached critical mass. Brat was caught between protecting her child, establishing her parental boundaries, and safeguarding her own hard-won financial peace of mind. Judy was caught between defending her reputation as a self-made powerhouse, maintaining the illusion of effortless luxury, and navigating the harsh realities of corporate operational costs. The shared foundation that once seemed indestructible was now taking heavy hits from both the domestic front and the financial front. Every attempt to project unity on public platforms felt heavier and more strained. The lighthearted chemistry from their early days was replaced by a visible, guarded energy in joint appearances. The stakes were no longer just about who had the final say in the living room. They were about survival, legacy, and the true cost of keeping up a multi-million-dollar facade under relentless public scrutiny. But just when the internet thought the situation couldn't get worse, a new detail completely changed the narrative. The sudden narrative shift hit the internet like a freight train, and the public conversation instantly turned hostile. Up to this point, the debate centered on parenting styles and the pressures of business overhead. But when observers began reviewing the origin of their entire relationship against this new backdrop of financial tension, the very foundation of their marriage went under the microscope. The public scrutiny centered on one central question: how much of this relationship was built on genuine romance, and how much of it served as a calculated corporate merger? Looking at the confirmed public timeline, the trajectory of Judy's empire tells a very clear story. Before stepping into the mainstream spotlight with Brat in 2020, Judy Depart was an entrepreneur operating primarily within digital direct-to-consumer circles and regional salon markets. The moment she aligned with Brat, a hip-hop pioneer whose 1994 debut album Functified cemented her place in music history. Bringing decades of mainstream goodwill and industry relationships, Judy's commercial footprint transformed overnight. Following their public debut in early 2020, the joint brand expanded rapidly. By 2021, WeTV greenlit their dedicated reality docuseries Brat Loves Judy, granting unprecedented national television real estate to both their personal lives and Judy's product lines. Mainstream red carpets, national morning show appearances, and high-profile industry events followed. This level of mass-market visibility gave Kaleidoscope hair products mainstream brand awareness that would have otherwise required millions of dollars in traditional media buying. Online commentary immediately began dissecting this commercial timeline. Critical voices argued that Brat's legendary status and public goodwill functioned as a catalyst that accelerated Judy's transition from internet businesswoman to nationally recognized television figure. Observers re-examined early high-profile publicity milestones, including the viral 2020 birthday presentation of a multi-thousand-dollar Bentley, evaluating whether those heavily filmed displays were purely romantic gestures or strategic marketing investments that kept their joint platform trending across digital algorithms. Industry analysts, on the other hand, viewed the fallout through the brutal lens of modern celebrity enterprise. In the current media landscape, commercializing private domestic life carries significant risks. When personal relationships are integrated into commercial programming, product licensing, and multi-season reality television orders, personal conflict directly affects business equity. Entertainment analysts noted that if consumer perception shifts and the marriage appears strained or transactional, audience engagement drops, threatening the renewal of television contracts and co-branded retail collaborations. The emotional impact on Brat reached a critical threshold. Throughout a music career spanning nearly 30 years, Brat had kept her romantic life entirely private, never confirming a relationship publicly until March 2020. Choosing to come out, marry Judy on national television, and share her journey through late-in-life IVF meant placing her reputation, personal integrity, and private world into the public domain. To now face intense scrutiny regarding whether her legacy was leveraged for commercial visibility, while managing daily parenting disagreements and business volatility, presents an immense personal challenge. The contrast between both women became stark and undeniable. Judy found herself fighting on multiple fronts, defending the legitimacy of her self-made commercial trajectory, managing retail market headwinds, and confronting narratives that minimized her independent entrepreneurial success. Brat, meanwhile, shifted entirely into self-preservation mode, prioritizing the protection of her newborn son, her personal peace, and the hard-earned financial independence she spent years rebuilding from scratch. The public perception had completely inverted. The fairy tale wedding and the untouchable luxury aesthetic were gone, replaced by a tense, high-stakes standoff between two powerful personalities fighting for control over their narrative, their household, and their legacy. The illusion of effortless harmony had officially broken, setting the stage for an inevitable reckoning that neither woman could afford to lose. The multi-million-dollar illusion has fully dissolved, leaving Brat and Judy standing at the most critical crossroads of their lives. What started as a televised fairy tale has devolved into an intense battle over household control, parental authority, and the heavy financial cost of keeping an empire afloat under relentless public scrutiny. With both women legally and commercially tied through joint ventures, television deals, and the shared responsibility of raising baby True, the stakes could not be higher. Brat has drawn her line in the sand to protect her peace, her legacy, and her son. Meanwhile, Judy is fighting to maintain the business empire she spent over a decade building from the ground up. This leaves the biggest unanswered question on the table. When the reality cameras pack up and the public spotlight fades, can this marriage survive the raw weight of real life, or is this the beginning of the end for one of reality TV's most famous couples? I need to hear from you in the comments. Do you believe this is simply the harsh reality of two powerful personalities adjusting to parenthood under immense corporate pressure, or was this partnership doomed the moment business overtook genuine connection? Drop your thoughts below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and stay locked in, because the next move either of them makes is about to change this entire story forever.